welcome to Gemstone Tarot. This is your pick a card reading for if you're in a situation where you're in separation with somebody and you're wondering, are we going to stay in separation or do we have a chance of coming into union? There are 3 piles of cards on the table. There's the orange, the pink and the blue. So take a deep breath, center yourself and just go for whichever one that your gut instinct is drawn to. Go to the description box, there's a timestamp for each card and then you can scooch straight to it. We're looking at your feelings, we're looking at their feelings, we're looking at the obstacles, the blocks, how to resolve them. And I always find with these pick a card readings that there is the category of other stuff that comes up. So other stuff will come up and we're going to look at that as well. Okay, so choose your colour, check the timestamp in the description box and I'll see you on the other side. Namaste. Then my lovelies, you chose the orange pile. Okay. This is strong. I knew there was a reason why I woke up this morning and really wanted to do this pick a card reading. It happens to me, you know, those of you that have followed me for a while will know I don't do them that often, and when I do, it's like I wake up and it's that's it, I've got to do it. I had to dry shampoo my hair because I was like, I haven't got time to wash my hair. Do the reading. And when I see cards like these, I know why, okay? So, okay, let's have a looky-see. Let's do a deep... Oof! Okay. Never mind. There will be an extended reading for this. The link will be in the description box. This is about communication. If you're drawn to this pile, there has been very little of that recently. There's some kind of interruption. There is some kind of, almost I want to say, standoff between the two of you. There's definitely, I'm getting, you know, as soon as I started your reading, my eye feels like it's got a massive lump of grit in it. It feels like it's very difficult to see the wood for the trees with this person, and they're not making it easy for you, okay? It's not just you, and I think that's really important to get that out there straight away, okay? If you think this is just you, it's not just you. If you think you're reading into things, you're not. You're right. Your intuition is pretty good. There is a power dynamic playing out here. And for me, it's almost a dynamic of, you know, when you get those old Western films and 2 cowboys meet in the dusty front of the post office and you've got this bit where you've got a gun and they've got a gun and there's that silence where they sort of do whatever they do, 3, 2, 1, go, you know, wave the flag. Who's going to draw first? Just totally came into my head for you, number 1. Who's going to draw first? It's an interesting dynamic to have with a person. I feel like this may have been exacerbated by lockdown, but I don't think it's all about that. I think there is some kind of, there is a difficulty, there's an intractable issue, there is, this person has something holding them back. And you sense that, and they may not have admitted it, they may not have put it into words, but I suspect that most of you that I'm dealing with, actually I'm not thinking you're all water signs. I was about to say most of you here are water signs, but as soon as I said that, I can feel Leos and Libras and also, okay, so it's about water sign energy. Look back to the 10th of January 2020. I can barely even remember what year it is at the moment. Go back to the 10th of January. We had an eclipse in Cancer, okay? It's very relevant to this. You're either dealing with a Cancerian, you are a Cancerian, or it's to do with that Cancerian energy. Now, we have another eclipse in Cancer. When is it? 21st of June, I think. There's 2 timelines I've got here. Between January the 10th and June the 21st is one timeline for this relationship of how this is playing out. But we also have Mercury going retrograde on the 18th of June, which has that retrograde drawing back in, you know, returning feel to it. It's going to take, you know, June has got 2 eclipses and a retrograde in, quite honestly, and it's going to take that much astrological clout to get this person to shift, because they're stubborn. You are dealing with somebody, they may not seem stubborn, they may not be loud, they may not be, you know, a person who protests or any of that stuff, but they're quietly so stubborn, and they've got something restricting them. I get this incredibly, they can't see it, you know, that thing in my eye, they can't see the wood for the trees, my throat feels tight, they can't speak the words they want to say. You know they've got words to say, you know they've got things to say to you, they're not saying them. Now, look, I did a random love reading a while ago, and we talked about not being the bridge, not being somebody's human bridge. And I'm getting that for you again, because look, I got the relationship card of sacrifice, where somebody sacrifices themselves to bring another person into union with them, okay? When someone is freezing us out, or when someone is, in this case, semi-freezing you out, semi-quiet, possibly sulking maybe, or a combination, you know, or frightened, they have something holding them back. And very often, if we're a caring type person, our immediate response to that is to start trying to help them, okay, encouraging them, sending them nice messages, you know, it's okay to love me, I'm safe to love, I know you've been hurt before, but I'm your safe bet. That kind of, just that, even if you're not doing it, you're feeling that energy of wanting to give to them. It's like, oh, bring them out of their shell. You can see the real person they are underneath. You can feel the heartbeat of that person. I feel like that would be a mistake here, because we also have Brian and Wendy Freed, the captive man. Now, you're most likely dealing with a man here, okay? I'm getting masculine energy, I have to say. A few of you can be dealing with a woman. It's a strong-minded woman, if that's the case. It's a woman who is more in her masculine, as in she's up in her head more than in her heart, okay? And she may have very good reason for that. But most of you, I feel, in this reading are dealing with a man. And the captive man is somebody that is restricted. They are caught. They're caught up in something. This can be the card, and it is for a few of you, of somebody who's dealing with a karmic, somebody who's dealing with a divorce, somebody who, a very good example of this is somebody who's dealing with a divorce but they're still living in the same house. Or they're dealing with a divorce but they're still got so much negotiating about finances or children that they are caught up in that. They don't have, or they haven't had, the energy for connecting with you, okay? And that may have caused you a lot of frustration, a lot of heartache, and it may be for you as well that there may be decisions to make which will be, I was going to say kicked up the backside, which you'll get a kick up the backside. This situation gets a kick up the backside on the 5th of June and the 21st when there's 2 eclipses, but it's not as simple as that, because we've got Mercury retrograde and Sun moving into Cancer on the 20th, all sandwiched in the middle of 2 eclipses, one of which is in Cancer anyway. So don't be hard on yourself here, okay? I can feel that some of you are. If you've reached out to this person and they haven't come back to you, don't reach out to them again. If you haven't reached out to them and you're wondering whether to reach out, I would not. I mean, it's obviously your decision. This is one of those situations which is very counterintuitive, where the more you try and help them, the more they retreat into their shell, okay? 4 of Cups. This is a person who is, I would say, pretending to be indifferent. And I know that's a strange statement to make, but honestly, that's what I'm getting. They're pretending indifference. They're not indifferent. They might be angry. They might be very sad, they might be full of passion, but one thing they're not is indifferent. But the side that they're showing to you, which may be a wall of silence, it may be some very staccato, you know, constipated text messages, you know, yes, I am okay, or how are you? You know, there's not much coming, not exactly an emotional fountain, let's put it that way. The side that they're showing to you is only the absolute top layer of what is underneath. You can sense what's underneath, and that makes you feel sometimes panicky about wanting to make sure you don't miss the opportunity. The opportunity lies in their hands at the moment. We've got the Emperor. Now, the Emperor is divine masculine. It is also taking charge, stepping up, making stuff happen. It's the father of the tarot. When you draw the Emperor and you've got the captive man, it's also worth having a look at your relationship with your father, whichever way that is, complicated, good, bad, whatever it is. Look at the power dynamic between you and him, because something about that is coming into this situation. It could also be their relationship with their father or with male father figures in their life, okay? This person feels weak. They're coming off as unfeeling and strong, but they feel weak. Ten of Swords. For me, this is a card of family patterns. It's also the 10th of January, going back to that eclipse in Cancer. It's about working through a situation from beginning to end, from Ace of Swords to 10 of Swords, until every single wound is identified. Oh, the joy of the 10 of Swords. Actually, you're better off with that than you are with the 8 or the 9, because at least you made it to the 10, and the 10 collapses back into a 1. And this person needs that time. It's whether you want to give it to them. It's whether you want to offer them that patience. There's a difference between that and being a bridge, okay? Don't sacrifice yourself. That's really important. Then, Two of Wands. So this is the card for me of when somebody is at some kind of distance. It's either emotional distance, or in lots of cases it's physical distance, or it's a combination of the two. I rather like this because it shows that there is some kind of positive move to do with distance. It comes up with the 6 of Pentacles, which is giving, generosity, making a move. The Emperor, the 2 of Wands, and the 6 of Pentacles leads me to believe that this is a difficult situation. I'm not going to sugarcoat that for you, okay? Those of you that watch my dailies, and by the way, do subscribe to the channel and hit the wiggly bell. You'll get my random love readings and all kinds of good stuff. Those of you that watch my channel will know I don't sugarcoat things, okay? This is a difficult dog to keep on the porch. This is not an easy situation. This will take some work, it will take some patience, and it will take you being really, really, really strong, okay? If you decide that you're still in it for that, we've got the 8 of Wands. It's communication. You will hear from this person. There will be communication. We also have the celebration card of the full moon, and for me this goes full moon to full moon. So, terrible at getting my moon diary out. We've got the full moon in Scorpio that we had on the 7th. We've got the full moon. When is the next full moon? I'm going to have to look in the moon diary because I don't want to get it wrong for you. New moon in Gemini on the 22nd, very, very nice. So, of course, the next full moon is on the 5th because it's the lunar eclipse. Okay, it's big for you. It's a really big date because we've got the full moon on here. So, expect something to shift. You may not know it, it may not be the day that they get in touch, but it's the day that something emotionally shifts in them, okay? You're all right. You're all set. You don't need to shift. They need to shift. And they need to get into their Emperor energy and come out of being the captive one, okay? You don't want someone who is still a slave to something or someone else, okay? In the extended reading, I'm going to use some different tarot packs. I'm going to do some Romance Angel Oracle cards. I'm going to have, I'm curious about their feelings. I'm curious about the obstacles. I'm going to have a bit of a deep dive into that because I feel like I'll have a look in that as well at your obstacles, but I feel like it's more about theirs than it is about yours. I feel like you're okay, actually. So yeah, okay, the link's in the description box. I'm going to do that straight away. Thank you for watching the video. Do follow me on Instagram, Gemstone Tarot. And yeah, there's other videos in the description box and I will see you then, okay? I'll see you on the other side. Namaste. Hello, Pink Pile. Okay, let's have a looky-see. Ooh. What do we need to know? Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. There will be an extended reading and the link will be in the description box below. You may be at a distance from this person, or your lives might be very busy, and there may have been some difficulty with making that compatible with each other. Here I've got the Two of Pentacles, Jupiter in Capricorn. This also goes back to January, like we were saying before. We had an eclipse on the 10th of January and it was in Cancer. And I'm feeling that around that time, or since that time, I mean, a lot has gone on since then, hasn't it? You know, March and April have been a real treat. This is the card of the juggler, but notice the sea is behind them as well. And for me, it's the card of trying to get commitments together. Managing commutes, managing money, managing logistics of when we're going to see each other, you know, the nuts and bolts of a relationship. But also there's something about how far something can expand. Because Jupiter is a planet of expansion and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is a planet of contraction. So there is a tension, and that's why you always get a person juggling and you've got the infinity symbol, because Capricorn wants to keep the emotional money in the bank and Jupiter wants to expand it. So there is a tension in this relationship between, if you think of feelings as money, okay, emotional money, currency, there is a tension between keeping money in the bank and expanding the investment. Shall we invest? Now, for some of you, this person is at a distance from you and you may be in a long distance relationship, possibly that started on the internet, or you may be in a relationship where it's on the internet and you're finding out whether you can meet, you know, that kind of thing. Or maybe you had a brief time that you were together, or the amount of times you saw each other was brief, but it's been a few months. It's that kind of thing. I'm just getting this thing between, you know, like if you meet someone and you hit it off and you live in different towns and it's difficult, or they're working away, or they've got family, or you've got family, or whatever it is, and you're trying to make something work. Okay. Brian and Wendy Freed, you get the challenge. The challenge is a card which is actually quite a positive card. It's exciting. There's an attraction here. You have a lot of attraction between you and this person. Quite honestly, if you didn't, I don't think that you'd bother, because it's a bit difficult. There's, you know, there's stuff, there's obstacles to overcome. You being in one place and them being in another place, even if that is just not so much geographical, you know, you're in different places. For a lot of you, that is geographical. There is a challenge. It's about weighing up whether it's worth it, whether it's worth taking the steps that need to be taken to make this happen, okay? when you get that challenge card, it means that there are obstacles ahead. It means that there are difficulties. You already know them, okay? They're not a surprise to you. And the question that is posed with the challenge is, do I take these obstacles on? Do I take the challenge? You know, it's a bit like if you choose that thing, what was it? Oh God, my brain is just addled at the moment. The what? Mission Impossible. You know, your mission should you choose to take it. Right. So this person and you getting together into union in a way that actually logically works is a mission. And it's whether you take it. Okay, that's what you're weighing up at the moment. That's what they're weighing up at the moment. And then, this is interesting. Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is somebody who takes charge, obviously. She's fire sign queen, so you may have fire in your chart. There's my little cat Valentine at the bottom. Always like that. She does stand up for what she wants. She is very clear, to the point of almost slipping into diva energy, okay? I love a diva, actually. I love me a diva. I'm not one, but I'd like to be one. You know, when you watch, like, I watch reality TV. I know it's trash, but I love it. I love those ones where people are divas, you know. I love to know how they behave and, you know, what their rider is and what they're going to get and the ridiculous things that they've done. There's something in it. You know, they often are leading something. There is a need for you, if you want to come into union with this person, to step into your power and to name, sorry, my contact lens is going mad today, to name what it is that you need. You know, I think you need to know what your bottom line is, because the Queen of Wands knows what her bottom line is, and she's got a big stick. You know, there's no two ways about it. It's like, here I am, I'm on my throne, this is what's going to happen. Even a bit of the old, you know, I can't do that very well, but you know what I'm saying. Because the other side here, so we've got the Queen of Wands with this Jupiter in Capricorn, Two of Pentacles, juggling, is it this, is it that? Oh, I don't know, is it worth it? I don't know. King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups is not a powerhouse like the Queen of Wands is, okay? King of Cups has a lot of good qualities. For a start, he's got to the point where you've gone from the Page, which is the shy one with the fish in a cup. Do you want my smelly fish? To the Knight of Cups, where it's like, well, I'm going to have to level up. I got me a white charger, got a white horse. I got a plumey helmet thing. You know, I've kind of dolled up my livery. And they offer you a goblet. And you're like, maybe. Then, eventually, it matures into the King, where he gets a throne. He doesn't need to be sweating on a horse. And he's got 2 cups, and one of them's big. Look at my big cup. Well, look at my big stick, okay? There's something in that. It's almost like paper, scissors, stone. It's like cup and stick. I like both of you in this scenario. I feel like if you could get over the logistics of all this stuff, you're quite compatible with this person, actually. You may be the doer. You know, in all relationships, regardless of gender, there is masculine energy and there's feminine energy. And weirdly, even though it's the Queen of Wands, I'm getting the masculine energy here. You may need to be in your masculine energy in order to accept this challenge. And that's whether you are okay with the other person not being so much of the initiator, okay? I like the vibe that I'm getting off this other person. And I like the vibe that I'm getting off the relationship. It's just, I think that the logistics of this are genuinely difficult, actually. So for some of you, they may have a very kind of important job that they can't easily, you know, get away from or relocate from, or you have, or you both have, or whatever it is. Or it's to do with children, family, or just to do with the lockdown and the fact that, you know, nothing's really moving and it's very difficult to obtain things or to move or to travel or to fly or any of those things, okay? Over here we've got the Nine of Wands, which is the card of defense. Both of you are a bit defended about this connection because it's not very easy. Not, I don't think, because it's not very good. I think it is good. And I get the feeling when we come into June and we've got the eclipses, we've got an eclipse on the 5th, we've got an eclipse on the 21st, we've got Mercury going retrograde on the 18th, and we've got Sun moving into Cancer on the 20th. It's a big month, okay? We've got 3 planets in retrograde in May. It's kind of like, it's a topsy-turvy time, and this is a bit of a topsy-turvy situation, but I get the feeling that there's going to be some luck, which may not be generated deliberately by either of you, but you coming into your own energies of the Queen of Wands does help it happen. King of Cups is someone, it's the poet, it's the dreamer, it's the feeler. But the Queen of Wands is the politician, the diva, the innovator, the inventor. You may hatch a plan as to how this can work. And I wouldn't rule out any of the possibilities, even if they seem a bit weird. But also what I'm getting is you might just get something fall into your lap, like a job offer or something to do with moving or houses or something like that. Because, you know, sometimes the universe throws you a bone, and I'm just getting the feeling it will. 6 of Swords, moving from troubled water to calmer waters. But somebody's taking you. I feel like you and this person, yes, I do feel like you will come into union. I think you will give it a try. I think for some of you the relationship is quite new, and for some of you the relationship is quite logistically challenging. But I think you and this person could be good together, is my honest answer to that. I get the Grace card of Joy, which is a reunion card. It's lovely. I mean, I love that for you. But I also get the Gift card of Abundance. Now, in order to get that abundance, you've got to be in the boat. And notice here, you're in a boat. That might be significant to you, sailing or boats or the sea or that kind of someone overseas. Once they get in the boat, the stream is going downstream. So they're just easily following a flow. They're following a current, okay? What I think is happening with this is there are challenges, and the challenges are real. It's not so much, I think, a lack of interest on either of your parts. I think it's actually life. But we do get the Page of Wands. And this is a clumsy fire energy. But when it comes, it is something happening quite fast. Now, one of the eclipses, the one on the 5th, is in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign. And I do feel that something, because Sagittarius and Jupiter rule long-term travel, it's ruled by Jupiter. And here we've got Jupiter in Capricorn. I think something will come in for that. I will have a look in the extended reading about that, okay? I'm going to look at sudden surprises in the extended, because that's what I'm getting. I'm going to look at emotional blocks for the King of Cups and how the Queen of Wands can step into her power. And I will look at the challenge, okay? So do subscribe, losing my voice, if you haven't already. And do hit the wiggly bell, because I'm doing loads of random love readings. And the link will be in the description box. I'm going to do the extended right now. And I'll see you on the other side. Namaste. Hello, Blue. Let's have a look at your cards. Ooh, okay. It's going to be interesting. Ooh, okay. Yes, very much so. Wow. Oh, I was kind of excited about doing your reading, Blue. Ooh. Wowzers. Okay. Go big or go home. Right, there will be an extended reading and the link's in the description box. Blue, let's talk. Let's talk. something happened with this person in the past which needs healing. There's been a conversation of some kind, or there's been information of some kind. Got this Knight of Swords. You could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. May have been a row or a disagreement or just a disconnect of something, because underneath that Knight of Swords we've got the Seven of Swords. Of course, another air sign card. Seven of Swords is the Thief card. It's a difficult card. It's obviously a card where there's been something happened. You know, this guy is making off with these swords. He's not doing it in a very, I mean, it is in sort of broad daylight, but you get that feeling he's covered his face, you know, he's like making off with something. You feel like this person has made off with something. They may have stolen your trust a bit, or they may have broken your trust. I want one more of these actually to go with it, so just let me do that. What else do we need to know about this? Oof, they don't want to say. Okay, there's some secrets in this relationship or this connection. There's definitely some secrets. But there's a lot of potential as well, so I want to say that too. I know, it's all going on. It's a bit of a juicy reading, this, I have to say. What do we need to know about the Seven of Swords, please? Okay, is it you? Do we need to know from this pack, or is there a different pack? Oh, all right. It's a different pack. Sorry about that. I didn't feel right with that pack. Using the Mythic Tarot, I just want to take a card, just want a couple of cards for that. Guidance on the Seven of Swords. What do we need to know? What should we pay attention to? Wow. The Devil. Okay. And the Nine of Cups. Yeah. This is like a kaleidoscope. You must be feeling very confused about this person or this connection, because it's equally as good as it's bad. You know, if you think of it, Devil, Nine of Cups, Devil, Nine of Cups. Good, bad, Devil, Angel. You know, I feel like this is a twin flame connection for some of you. For the Seven of Swords, we get the Two of Swords. You don't know what to do. You don't know whether this is right or not. You don't know whether they're telling you the truth or not. You're kind of, you know, when you get the Two of Swords, there's normally a blindfold as well, because you can't see. It's not like you've got this choice or that choice. It's more like you can't see any choice. You're just like, I just can't tell. I can't tell if this person has sort of done the dirty on me or not. I can't tell if they're trying to get away with something. I don't know if they're telling me the truth. That's a big thing I'm getting for you with this. Six of Cups in reverse. That's why I just get, you know, this is Psyche waiting on a rock for the love god Eros to return. Someone left, I think. Someone left, or someone ghosted, or someone disappeared, or something like that. Got away with something in a way. And I feel like there is such a connection between you and this person that whether you've wanted to or not, part of you is waiting. You know, Six of Cups for me is like a soul connection with somebody that's either past life, or just taps into some very deep stuff within us that's quite hard to control. So if you're finding it hard to control your emotions, don't be hard on yourself, because I would have thought you would find it hard to control your emotions with this person. Plus, the Devil card is, for me, a card of family patterns and looking at patterns of attraction, okay? There is, I think, maybe a strong magnetic physical attraction with this person. There often is with the Devil. And that goes both ways. I think there's a lot of chemistry, but there's some kind of dropout in communication. We've got the Knight of Swords in reverse. So remember, up here we had the Knight of Swords in the upright, okay? That is clear, quite brutal sometimes communication, and this is unclear. And I think what might have happened is you might have gone into lockdown and everything became very weird. Maybe they haven't called very much. Maybe they disappeared. Maybe you don't know what they're doing. Maybe you don't trust them. There are trust issues here, okay, between the two of you. Okay. Up here we have the unconscious of the personal myth. You may, and this is a bit weird, but you may want to ask yourself, what are your beliefs about relationships? Do you believe that people can't be trusted? Have you been let down in the past? You know, is that colouring your impression of this person? Is it that you can't trust them, or is it that you can't trust in love, that you can't believe in love? Now, for some of you, you haven't heard from this person in a long time. For others of you, you're sort of in this bubble of not knowing and really wanting to know. And what I feel is going to happen is we've got these two eclipses, haven't we, in June? We've actually got another one on the 5th of July. So 5th of June, we've got a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. Then we've got Mercury going retrograde on the 18th. And then on the 21st, we've got an eclipse in Cancer. You may be a Cancerian, a lot of you are. And we then have another eclipse, a full moon eclipse on the 5th. I think it's in Capricorn, I'm not sure. I feel like you're running here from full moon to full moon. So you may have found you had stuff going on around the Scorpio full moon on the 7th of May. About secrets, about what's hidden and what is to be revealed. There needs to be a lot revealed in order for this union to take place, but I can't see how it won't take place. You know, I just feel like there is this, I'm really getting magnetic ties, like, you know, almost visuals of magnetic ties between you and this person. And it's a connection that is probably very much in the 5D and is very difficult. What I'm trying to say is, even if you decided to block this person on social media, block them on your phone, block their number, you know, all that stuff, I feel like in the 3D you can block them, and I feel like in the 5D you can't. Now, I feel like June helps you out because, look, we've got the Tower. Boy, do you need it. You need that energy. This is revelations, and all falsehoods fall to the ground. The Tower gets hit by lightning, which is revelation and truth, and it crumbles, it falls, it goes. It's like, this is all the BS that's been going on, and there has been some, and the cover-ups and whatever is, you know, being hidden or all that stuff makes this Tower. It gets hit, it gets lit, it gets knocked down. That's what eclipses do, particularly lunar ones, okay? Now, what's above it? The moon. Yeah, full fat moon. I like the Tower being underneath the moon in that way because it absolutely... And the moon is mysteries, what happens by night, what is hidden, borrowed light, Neptunian energy, And the Tower's like, yeah, whatever. Blows the lid off. Blows it all open. And then the Knight of Cups rides in, and I love that energy. I know, you weren't expecting that, and neither was I. But I like it. That is a mature apology. And where does it go? 10 of Cups. Mars in Pisces. Don't count yourself out of this one just yet, okay? Again, examine whether you have issues about trust. I'm not saying that there's no secrets to know, because there are. And I'm not saying just go and trust this person. But what I am saying is things will definitely be revealed, okay? In the extended reading, I'm going to look into that. I'm going to look into the shadow sides of this. I'm going to look into what's going on. I'm going to look into what might be revealed. And I'm going to look into that Devil card and the Knight of Cups, okay? But this is a very interesting reading. I can see there's such a lot of rainbow potential here with the Knight of Cups and the 10 of Cups. And we also have Brian and Wendy Frood, Queen of the Golden Bough. This, for me, it's a collective healing card. Something about this gets healed, and it will go one way or the other, you know. It all gets put out on the table, you know. It's like, I can just see now a balloon bursting and all the little bits everywhere, you know, and you get to just pick over it and know exactly what you're dealing with. Now, you're healing with the Angel card, you get power. There's power in knowing, okay? At the moment, you may feel like you don't have a lot of power because there's been so much kind of talk and chemistry and mystery. There's such a lot of mystery about this person that you feel a bit like this, you know, woman waiting on this rock. But I'm not surprised you're waiting if you've got that potential of the Knight of Cups and the 10 of Cups, okay? You're not wrong that there is a really deep soul connection here. And you're not entirely in control of what happens next in this either. Obviously, you can make your own decisions of who you want in your life and what you will accept and what you don't want to accept. But June lifts the lid on a lot of things for a lot of people. But particularly in your case, I feel like it's an absolute blessing. Those eclipses come at such a good time for you and this person. And, you know, remember we had the Devil on this side, but we had that 9 of Cups at the bottom. And this is where Aphrodite, the goddess of love, comes in. He does return to the rock she's been waiting on. There we are. And there's a union. I know. I'm going to go and do the extended reading. The link's in the description box. Do follow me on Instagram, Gemstone Tarot, and I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.